I want to introduce my friend, my former co-state senator, and a person I am really, really thrilled is our mayor, and that is Mayor Tim Keller.
Well, good afternoon on a beautiful Friday Albuquerque afternoon here downtown, and this is so wonderful actually to see everyone out here celebrating what actually is a very special occasion for our downtown. And just want to give a few shout outs to I think I see Senator Ivy Soto talking as usual back there, and give us a wave. I'm introducing you, Senator.
Oh, hi.
And our former U.S. Attorney, Damon Martinez. We also have our downtown city councilor, Ike Benton. Give him a round of applause. He does a lot of it. So I think first and foremost, as mayor, we do a lot and everything we can to try and help in a lot of ways. But one of the best things is when you just get to show up and take credit for something you had really nothing to do with, and that is this building. So I am so glad when the private sector, when our community steps up and they do things that are good for the surrounding area, and they don't even wait for the politicians. They just do it on their own. And this is such a good example of that. So Lisa, I got to tell you, we always want to help, but thank you for just soldiering on and doing it on your own with all of your partners and everyone that came together to make this happen. Lisa Curtis and the rest of the group that put this together. This is amazing because it just shows that actually when we come together as a city, whether it's with or without the civic leaders specifically, we can get things done. And I want to share a little bit about what's happening in downtown. But first, let's give Lisa and the leadership team, thank you so much for doing this and for not waiting for the city. So over the course of, I want to actually take us back to the last 20 years. When I was still in high school, probably coming down here to party inappropriately age-wise, but it was okay back then. We had just kind of finished that area. That was the Alvarado train station, this kind of work. And actually, it was the beginning of the modern Albuquerque downtown. And actually, if you remember what it was like before then, it was really, really run down. And so we did actually turn a corner in that era. And since then, we've been kind of chipping away at revitalizing downtown. And one of the last pieces for this corner right here is actually this building, the old State Theater building. Andalus came in, of course, with their great project here. We've got to figure out that building right behind you, but we've worked on that one. And then we have the Empire building, the Imperial building right there. So this little section of downtown is actually completely turning around and is in many ways very, very different than it was even 5 years ago. And so that is a great thing. And we are going block by block trying to revitalize downtown Albuquerque because what we have realized in this process in America in terms of urban city renewal is that the entire region rises and falls with the downtown of the largest city. That has become just a fact in terms of development and community prosperity all across America. And so that's not lost on us because Albuquerque is the largest city by far in like 400 miles, and our downtown is still what we have to focus on, and we rise and fall with downtown Albuquerque. So this building is actually, in Lisa's work, is part of literally lifting up New Mexico in the entire region. And this is another piece in that puzzle that we're going to continue to work on. So as foreshadowing in terms of what we're looking at next, of course, this summer we're cooking up how we actually move the needle on the rail yards. We're also going to get back to trying to build some sort of community space on Civic Plaza. That was the old Skyline project that we're going to redo in a public amenity-driven way. And then, of course, at some point, we might actually have our rapid transit program. But when you put those together, hopefully like 2 years, 3 years from now, I believe downtown is truly at a tipping point. And so let me end with the last part of that tipping point as we watch delicious pizza flow by, actually. It was a really great visual coming there. So, public safety. We know, and I think Albuquerque knows, there is this idea that downtown has a lot of crime issues. And I want to acknowledge that we do. But it is getting better. And it has literally been getting better almost month by month. I hear our business owners and our landowners saying, you know what, break-ins are a little bit down. Vagrants, a little bit down. We have a long ways to go. That is not lost on me at all, and it is going to take years to fix our public safety issues. But for the first time in several years, at least the trend is going in the right direction. And it's a credit to, I think, some of the changes our police department's making. And now that we passed a budget, thanks to council's help, we are going to have the resources to actually hit that inflection point and make downtown safe for everyone all day and on the weekends. That's the goal, and I think over the next few years we're going to get there. So thank you for playing a huge part in what is so important for the state of New Mexico and the city of Albuquerque. And with that, I want to hand it back to the champion behind this project and former Senator Lisa Curtis. Thank you.
I'm so happy to be standing here today. I have to tell you honestly, I'm not sure I ever thought that this day was going to come. You know, this is my hometown, and I didn't grow up downtown. In fact, I'm a Heights girl, and we really didn't come down here when I was a kid because it was dangerous. And now all my kids in college, when they come home, they come downtown, and I worried. All right, so I've been downtown now with my crew, all the people back over here that work with me upstairs on the 3rd floor. We've been down here for 13 years. It is only through a series of mistakes that I really ended up at the building in the first place. I wanted a different building, but I really believe that Alan Vincioni standing back here screwed me out of both those buildings. And that instead kept telling me year after year, you need to buy that building over there. Really, it's a deal. All right, and I said, oh my God, that building's so much work. All right, because the Old State Theater, where some of our lovely older people in the crowd used to come here and see movies for 25 cents. Yes, there's Mo back there. Yeah, I mean, and you know, rode the bus at 10 years old, you know, to come see the movies. You know, it was a great building. There's a David Duhigg, one of our stalwarts downtown, and brought me the picture of the Old State Theater. You know, the point of being down here, right, is to change the dynamic. My kids, I chose to raise my children in Albuquerque. I love my brother and my sisters, but my parents and I are the only ones that stayed, all right, to make a living here. And I hope that my children all come back here and that they have a reason. It's gonna make me cry looking at them over there. All 4 of my kids come back here and make their life in Albuquerque. So there's my daughter, the one who hopefully is watching me over the phone right now. Like I said, it's gonna make me cry. Who's in the Peace Corps in Guatemala. She sent me this. She said, Winston Churchill said, I like things to happen, and if they don't happen, I like to make them happen. All right, that really is, not that I like things to happen and maybe my decisions aren't always the best ones, but I do find a way. So this building is about finding a way to improve our city. For us, for the 13 people that work with me every day down here, to have a beautiful place because we work really hard to take care of our clients. But it's more than that. It's to help this amazing business, the business down here, NYPD Pizza, and then the Back Alley Draft House. This is the longest running retail business downtown. They've been here 16 years. All right, so it's their pizza that you're eating over here. It's actually fabulous. All right, so we want to support them. But we want everybody to be safe again. So you look around at how many lights I put on this building and the poles that we put in here. It's different here at night. All right, it feels safe. My best friend Denise Torres and I were out here planting flowers in the ground 2 nights ago. And just so you know, it was so cute because people talk a certain way about the homeless or the mentally ill or even the drug addicted. We see them every day. And what did they say to us, Denise?
Nice.
They would stop and go, nice, nice. Thank you for improving our neighborhood. You know, I'm like, you know, whatever we can do to help. All right, so So I want you to understand that I really wanted to do this. This is a style of architecture I personally love. All right, and I like things on this kind of big scale, but there are two other Albuquerque natives that were incredibly important to this project. All right, one of them is a family lots of you know from Maggie Hart-Stebbins, who's a commissioner here. Mike Hart, who's the most important lawyer in our state representing children who've been abused, is back there. And yes, he is. All right, and then I would like the other Mr. Hart that's present to come right here next to me. He's hiding in the back, which of course he always does. All right, so the other Mr. Hart, one of the many accomplished children in that family, who's older than I am, so it's hard to call you a kid. This is Andy Hart. Andy Hart owns Hart Construction, and where he started here in Albuquerque and made a very successful commercial construction company, which is something that's hard to do here. It is Andy's company, and then Tim Kirsch, who I know probably, even if I really pull him, will you just come, please?
Come on, Tim.
All right, Tim. Tim Kirsch is, and Andy might say he's his superintendent, but he's not. He's my superintendent. All right, because he has lived with me here for 2 years. All right, and my really good friend and architect, who was my friend before he was my architect, and that's Elliot. Where are you, Elliot Brainerd? You have to come out too. So, Elliot is the only non-New Mexican on my team, and that's because Elliot is a very talented architect from California that if he wasn't my friend, I couldn't afford him. All right? But I have to tell you, this group, all right? This group, how far out of plumb is this building?
7 inches.
7 inches. You noticed I put straight up and down things all along the building. All right? I mean, it was very, very challenging building to renovate. But Tim and Andy, who we would sit here and draw, Andy would draw us pictures to figure out what we had to do to fix the problem we couldn't possibly fix. This group, the four of us all together, designed and built this building. With the absolute love and support of the people that always follow me into every battle. First of all, that would be my husband, Bob, and my children, Zane, Alexandra, Paris is here somewhere, and India, who's on the phone. They're amazing. They always tell me I can do everything. And then it is the amazing group of people that I work with, all right, that Pauline in particular has been with me 21 years, almost 22, and then my long-term staff. Yay. No matter what crazy thing I have in mind, they do everything to help me accomplish it. And so I see so many of my friends down here. I know everybody wants this project to succeed, and that means we all need to come downtown. All right, I'm constantly hearing that it's dangerous. It's not to me, and I'm here. All right, I'm gonna lose my #1 bodyguard who's here every day, but it's not to me. We're always talking about how New Mexicans somehow like we're uneducated, we can't accomplish anything. Well, the 3 people right here are all New Mexicans. We all went to school here in Albuquerque. We grew up here in Albuquerque, and we are doing something for Albuquerque. So with that, I'm going to take the mayor. We're going to actually cut the ribbon over there, just because this will be the only time in my life I can do that. And with that, we will be open for business. So thank you, all of you.
Stockdale.